Alright, coming off the heels of the last video, I'm going to just move forward here. I naturally went back and did a few tweaks in between setting up for the next video. The tweak that I did is I cleared out the skin on the far east or your right of Griffith, the last strand of white hair he has. As you can see, there's a gray gap that used to be flesh colored. It made his back look too big, so I just went ahead and cleared it out, and looks better. And I did it for all the following frames too, as you can see here. Another tweak that I made too is I see something I can tweak now too, which is the line work for the hair. See something going on there. It's like it's missing. Yeah, it's missing some of the line work. Another thing that I tweaked also was the teardrop or the tear on Griffith's eye. I just went ahead, I turned temp layer off. I just went ahead and made it transparent. So now instead of a black line, it's more transparent, and it gave me that effect I wanted, where the white is noticeable on his cheek, like in the actual manga panel. It's highly noticeable, but I couldn't dictate whether or not if Dr. Kentaro Miura used pen to draw the tear or some other um some other method. Aside from that, in between videos, I also tweaked Griffith's eye. I've already went ahead and transitioned it over to all the other frames. But as you can see, his eyes are a lot more round. In the actual manga panel, he has a very round shaped eye. It was more oval shaped in my previous video. So yeah, those are the tweaks that I've done so far. I see something I need to tweak now that I'm just gonna knock it out while I'm here. So I don't again, I'm lazy. I'm like reverse lazy. I like to do things now instead of having to do it later. But so there's something going on here with this hair, so I'm gonna just figure out here really quickly what's going on, which is this right here. I'm not sure if you can see the hatched box for the selection tool, but I'm just gonna copy this part of the hair since it's not technically it's not animated this far down, given the camera won't really read it later when I do all the camera work. There's gonna be crazy camera work. I've already tested it out. My best friend and my father, they already have a demo of my Berserk animation, like my 10 or whatever, so they know in full detail how it looks. And my father immediately, which admittedly, I got all my artistic talent from well, really both my mother and my father. My mother was a portrait artist, and my dad was oddly enough the more manly side of my I guess artistic personality. Because my father would actually, I'm not kidding you either, he would actually draw the pages out of the Mortal Kombat was it guidebook, the book that came in the case for the games and stuff back when everything wasn't downloadable. It's pretty insane. My dad's like insanely talented. My mother too, of course. And then oddly enough, my grandmother's an artist too. Her artistic talent is through the roof though. She's like a plateau above my mother and my father. Or she was, she's dead, but she was like a plateau above my mother and my father in regards to art, only because she's wise. So she just knew a little bit more. There you go. Finish. I'm just rambling while I'm doing this, but I finished fixing that. That kind of bothered me a little bit. So what I'm gonna do now, since this is everything is rectified, that teardrop is perfect. I've already gone back and done the little cross hatching that I needed to mimic the manga properly. Just the little idiosyncrasies or the minute details that are required in order to mimic the godlike detail of Dr. Kentaro Miura. So I'm gonna move on. I said I wasn't gonna stick to the same scene, so I'm gonna move on to the next scene here. And the next scene is gonna be of Guts, but the next scene is gonna be a close up of the panel prior to this panel where Guts is like surprised. There's a look of horror in Guts's face, which is this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make in betweens for his mouth movement, and also I'm gonna have to tweak his eyes too. there's a part in here that I've created animation wise where he initially starts looking to his left, and then he slowly starts looking straight. Just it's just like for the reveal of Griffith, because when I begin this animation, it's not gonna cold turkey just start with a panel. You're like, what? I'm gonna reveal that this is Berserk for the actual demo. So I'm gonna start my work here. This is gonna be my next panel. This is what I'm gonna use the thumbie too, or the thumbnail. So just a heads up. So do a little lip work. Also, there's no music in the background. I had to get rid of the music. Thank YouTube, because YouTube keeps trying to copyright my videos, and I've noticed it took me a while to catch on actually, but I've noticed that whenever YouTube copyrights your video, you can't show your video in certain states or countries, so it kind of like deprives people of being able to see your hard work, and that's not cool. They really need to, in my opinion, they need to change that. And then on top of that, when you get your video copyrighted for music, it actually is like the video belongs to the person who made the music, because there's even, and this is the audacity, but YouTube actually asks you if you or rather YouTube asks the author of the music if to allow you to post your video. And that's, to me, that's insane. It's freaking insane. I'm sure the Pandora's box is open too, and for as far as residuals and things like that goes too. I got a nagging suspicion, but I think yeah, I think YouTube hands over like the rights. It'll like demonetize your video or something, and give the money you're supposed to get. Not that I'm making money off these videos. I don't really care if I do. But it takes basically your hard work, and it credits the person for whose music is in the video, which is, that's insane. It's just simply insane. So I'm just doing a little bit of lip work here, trying to fix guts up. Ugh. I don't know why I did. Okay. Trying to be careful. This technique is a very common technique that Dr. Kentaro Miura uses. It's called cross-hatching. And you use cross-hatching as like a makeshift way of shading. I admit all of these could be closer. But I'm gonna fill it out, see what happens here. All of that could have been closer though. Come on, where's the line? That was weird. Okay. Make it go with the grooves or the shape of the lips here. Yeah, I'm just simply adding the cross hatching here and just cleaning up the ink work. Ink work is slightly off. Was slightly off. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Keep in mind it's going to be zoomed way out, so it's details like this you won't even probably won't even care. Okay. So I'm going to take this while I can, and I'm going to copy it. Copy all this new stuff I've done. And let's see. I'm going to just drop it over the other frames that are similar. Gotta be careful here. I got a tendency of getting too much into the pattern and then copying over something I shouldn't. Like that. Okay. Alright. So what I want to do here is I want to transition. I want to transition from this to this. So I think the best alternative, or the best way to do this, is by hand. So I'm just gonna draw it out, and then just hope for the best. I think I should start with this frame though. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna drop it over this. Oops. Uh-oh. Let's not make mistakes. Copy over that. Alright. So that's good. And then I'm just gonna manually draw in what I need here. So we're transitioning from the mouth closed basically to the mouth open. So let's just get to it. Let's get her done. It's a fairly thick line. Let's be safe here. Okay, here's this. Since the movement's not very much, I'm just gonna simply sit on top of what already exists. I notice the cross hatching is very thick too. I have something for that though. Okay. Alright. I was seriously tempted to do this in 4K. Not sure if I said this in a previous video. I likely did. But I was tempted to do this whole video, like all this art in 4K, and then I thought about it. I was like, nah, it's not. It's not necessary. I really don't see the point in doing it in 4K now. That'd be the most pointless thing ever. Given I'm gonna be zoomed way out on a lot of these scenes. I'm that guy though. Like when I'm watching like a animation, specifically like anime or something like that, and then they do those scenes where like they're zoomed way out on the character, and like the details virtually gone, and it's like, dude, it's noticeable. To me, it's so noticeable. Let's do the lip work here. I notice the lip work is slightly thicker, or the the cross hatching. It's ever so thick. So do it like this here. Okay, 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 okay. All right, all right. That looks good. And because he's slightly opening his lips here, or rather his mouth, I'm gonna do this. Give it a slight trim. He's even got like some teeth showing in the following panel. I'll worry about that in a second. I gotta finish editing his lips first. I'm gonna drop this lip down. Ooh, that indentation is kind of a little extreme. Let's do this. The indentation is a little extreme. I might have to go back here and do some tweaking there. So that's what I'm gonna go with. This should actually reduce. Keep in mind when you make expressions and stuff, your lips actually stretch. Lips are made of skin, so it contorts. So certain certain details actually go away when the lips are stretched out. Let's make this just a little lower. Okay, I'm gonna drop this. Just his lower lip. I'm gonna drop it down. It's gonna have less exaggeration on the concaveness of the black line. It's very important because again the lip is stretching. You have to keep in mind the stretch and squash of things that aren't hard material. I almost said metal. That should always relay, specifically for animators, in the back of your mind. Certain things don't stretch and squash. They can't. Because, this word is going to make my best friend happy because of physics, You have to apply physics. Okay. This is going to be a beautiful in between. I can already feel it. Alright, that's fine. That looks good to me. Okay. I know he shows a little bit of teeth. Like in the next scene there, he shows teeth. So I'm gonna see if I can get something in there. Drop this down to 1. Yeah, because it's a bit of a stretch. Okay. Just a little bit of teeth on them. Alright, that worked out. Then let's whoa. Slow down, player. Okay. Alright. And how about we actually do teeth here? Okay. There you go. Just a little bit of teeth. I don't want him to look buck tooth or anything, but gotta get it in here. Okay, that's fine. I started to give Guts fangs or make his canines more prominent, but I can't recall. I don't think I've seen that done in a manga anywhere, so I don't think it's like a big feature outside of him having really pointy ears or whatever. So let's see what this looks like. Boom, boom. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Cross hatching is really thin. Actually, in fairness, I like the thin cross hatching better. So, but I need it consistent too. So let's just do this. Much as I don't want to, let's just do this. Can't be lazy, because you'll pay for it when you actually start the animation. You'll pay for being lazy, especially with cross hatching. You can't joke around with your cross hatching. It has to be super consistent, super consistent, especially in between frames. When you're doing like your motions in between your keyframes, if your cross hatching is even slightly off, it's jarring, and that's the perfectionist in me speaking. Most people are probably like, I don't care. It's whatever, dude. Mine's got thicker, man. But it freaks me out. Little things freak me out. Like most workers, I have to step back every once in a while too, and like to look at my work. That not only helps me to better appreciate it, but it also helps me with the phase of when I have to go back and clean little things that I may have done wrong. I don't know if this is thick enough line work, but we'll find out. Yeah, this looks kind of thin. We'll see. But yeah, I got to keep moving, man. I just got to keep moving. I finished one video, I'll just start another one, and I'll just keep going and keep going till I can't do it no more. Till I'm in the coffin. And I don't think this is gonna take me long. If I keep it up at this rate, if I'm jumping from scene to scene like this, I'll get this done. I'll get this done in no time. And it's gonna be glorious. I think it's safe for me to say there's no bigger Berserk fan than me. I am one of the greatest Berserk fans there is. If this doesn't speak for it, then I don't know how else to convince you. Okay, please say that's thick enough. Slightly off, but it's better than before. Yeah, it's better than before. It's just enough to get away with when when zoomed out. I can see something I could tweak too that'll improve this. Watch this. This is crazy. This goes back to that. It's really not the same thing, but it's similar. It goes back to that squash and squish thing. The same thing applies to your line or your ink work. Even when you're cross hatching, you have to keep stretch and squash in the back or the angles of your mind, because even your ink work changes. It shouldn't have the same consistency throughout a frame. Now throughout frames with an S, yes, you absolutely have to be consistent with your line work. But in the single frame, you're free to stretch and squash whatever you need be to indicate the changing of curvature or shape of skin. It's really fascinating. That's much better too. I love it. I love it. Why am I doing that? Oh no. Why'd you do that? That was weird. It's putting the wrong color in the lips. This is what I wanted. Looks like it's not playing well. It's not letting me go as low as I want, so I'm gonna Be a little dirty here. Get on the inside of the lip and do it manually like that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I like it. I like it like that. I like it like that. Okay, so there's my in-between. Did the bad boy from scratch. It looks great. Looks immaculate. I want to try something different. Pretty soon I'm about to tweak his eyes. I'm gonna do something different here. Let's see what the frames look like. Okay, so mouth closed, open, more awesome. Awesome. Open, more open. Perfect. Voila. That cross hatching's bothering me a little bit. That looks fine, but the change of the hatching there, I don't like that. I don't think, okay, so let's do this. Might as well. I'm gonna probably do this afterwards, after the video anyway. Okay, let's just get all the frames before I forget to. Oops. Oh, you idiot. I was talking about that earlier, I think in a previous video. Probably in the beginning of this video. But I do that. I have a tendency I'll get too into copying over frames, and I'll do something like that. Let's save this out before I move forward here. It's saving. I don't know if you can see the pop-up. Alright. So the next thing I want to tweak is his eye. So for his eye specifically, we're going to have to go way back here. So his eye is going to shift. He initially is looking straight, and then his eye is going to gradually, it's going to gradually shift forward. So what I'm going to do here is, let me see about, so the center is about right here. What I'm going to do here is called in-betweens. Or, wait, let's see, initial frame, next frame. So the in-between, technically, the in-between should be here. So what was that, 7? So frame 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a slow shift over to this frame here, which looks like the eye's almost in the center. And I of course base that on the placement of the pupil, which is under. You get the point. So I'm gonna go back here, and I think the frame I said was 7. Let's 8's fine. So what I'm gonna do here, instead of redrawing this, I'm gonna copy it. Trust the method to my madness. Open up the temp ink layer. Gonna make another layer here. Delete the old one. Go back to, what was it, 8? It was 7 or 8. I'm gonna do 8. I want to drag this back here, and then I'm gonna do my editing from this layer. I've already done the copy and paste, so I should be able to control V, and it's there. I know it's there. I could feel it. So after doing that, you just trim around, specifically around the eye itself. Just trim around it with the eraser. This is like one of my shortcuts. Save me the time and effort of having to redraw things when it's really not necessary. Especially when it's just an object that's the same thing essentially. You don't have to keep redrawing it. That's weird. So I did the eraser tool around the eye, which I'm pretty sure covers. It thoroughly covered it. But I'm going to do the eraser tool a second time, slightly out like this, just in case there's something in the box, specifically the white. I don't want to carry the white over. Then I'm going to do a quick highlight here. I'm going to select the move tool, click the box, and I'm just going to tap over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember where the pupil stops too. I think right here. I think here is safe. Yeah, I think here is safe. Okay, and then after doing that, I'm going to go I'm going to go behind it and quickly do some trim work. Not trim work, but quickly put the white in behind the eye like this. Okay. I know this is all eyeball, but trying to be careful here, not take over something I don't need to take over, because that can be dangerous. Okay, that's about right. And then let's take some black, just for the shape of the eye, whatever. Drop some black behind it, just to round it out. There you go. There's a shortcut, kinda. So since I did this work on the eye behind the temp layer, I'm gonna have to take what I made and transition it over for specifically for the color layer. I did the temp layer, which is just the eyeball. I'll take it off there, see? And then I did the work behind it to shape the back of the rather the cornea of the eye. So I'm going to proceed to copy this because I need this for for behind the eye. And I'm just going to simply, let's see, waiting. Okay, so this is the full center, and then I'm transitioning 3, 4, 5. I'm transitioning this eye to 2, 3, 4. So I think here actually will be a good place to put the transition, considering this is the movement of the eye itself. And I just shifted left, right? Wait, let me be smart about this. So the initial eye, then this is my work, and then it's still on the old eye, and then the full shift. So I need to find a midpoint, which I think is here actually. Yeah, so I'm gonna do here. Just do a control V here, a control V here, a control V here, a control V here. That's 3 might be a stretch on 11. Yeah, 3 might be a little bit of a stretch. So I'll leave it at 2. And then I'll take this, do a quick copy of that, turn it off, go over, and it should be too easy to figure out what to paste over, given it's it'll be pitch black. Okay, awesome. So eye movement there. Well, I hope I didn't make a mistake there. So slightly over to the right, then moving to the left there. Yeah, and then shift. Okay, so I did an in between there. And there's another, I need to create another in between here. Yeah, see that big jump? That's a massive jump. So 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna be smart about this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half of 11 is about 5 or 6. Really, it's 5.5, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna do this frame. I'm gonna open up the temp. I'm going to add another frame there in its place. I'm gonna delete the old temp. Go here. And what we're doing is making an in between for this to here. So I'm going to, just like before, I'm going to take this, copy it, I'm going to drop it here like so. Do the trim, just simply trim around the eye, just a makeshift trim here. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about the black outline too much. I can tweak that later. It saves me so much work. Alright, and then oops, let me do that. And let's do it twice. One slightly out. Alright, so his eyes are shifting left. So I'm going to take this, hit the move tool, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 is good. 5 maybe. I like 4. Move it slightly up like that. Yeah, just move it up 1. I think that's good. And then do behind the eye here. Remember, I'm only 5 frames in. Actually, I should do the white. Let's do the white first. So, just going to move this over. Slide the white behind the eye like this. Do the same thing for the bottom. Oh man, it's been almost 30 minutes. Then I'm going to put the black behind her. Alright. Just to give it that shape it's supposed to have. A well, consistent shape. Alright. And then should be too easy. I'm 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's 5 more, right? Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what? 2. And then the shift again. So this 2, 3, 4. So I should be going backwards. 1. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, because there's a shift. Yeah, I'm just gonna go backwards. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna start shifting backwards. Alright, 3, okay. Take this bad boy, go up to the temp layer, copy that, turn it off, paste it over itself. Okay. And oops, sorry, I hit the mic. So that's my in between there. So if I did that correctly, his eyes should start shifting in a proper it should have the proper in betweens. I'm gonna save this out, and I'm gonna end the video here. I'm off for the thumb. I don't even have time. It's been over 30 minutes. I'll throw the thumbnail together. You'll get the gist. All right, later.